Victorian London looked elegant on postcards, but the truth underneath was a nightmare the city spent decades trying to hide. Walk down a narrow London alley in the 1800s, and you'd feel the real city immediately. Damp walls, sweating mildew, the air thick with fog that smelled like sewage and coal smoke, and shadows moving where people shouldn't be. This was a city of brutal contrasts. One street had carriages, mansions, and gas lamps glowing like stars. And the next street had children sleeping on piles of rotting hay while rats crawled over them. More than 30,000 kids lived on the streets with no family, no food, and no future. Many joined gangs not because they wanted to, but because it was the only group that didn't let them starve. These gangs ran entire districts, especially the slums of Whitechapel, and police couldn't control anything. Most officers were underpaid, overwhelmed, and terrified to patrol the alleys at night. And honestly, you couldn't blame them. The fog in Victorian London was so thick, thanks to factories burning dirty coal, that people disappeared into it and were never seen again. Crime exploded. Pickpockets, mugging crews, child thieves, brothel owners, body snatchers who dug up fresh graves to sell corpses to medical schools, and killers who used the fog as camouflage. But crime was only one layer of this city's sickness. The workhouses were worse. These were government-run buildings where the poor were sent to earn their keep. But in reality, they were prisons disguised as charity. Families were separated. Food was barely edible, and people worked until their bodies failed. Children were forced to clean chimneys, crawl under machinery, and perform dangerous tasks adults refused to do. Many didn't survive. And if sickness didn't get them, Victorian medicine might. Doctors operated with saws and dirty knives, believing pain built character because anesthesia was new and mistrusted. Hospitals were so filthy that infections killed more patients than the original injuries. Meanwhile, the wealthy lived only a couple streets away, eating lavish meals while the poor drank water contaminated with sewage flowing directly into the Thames. This led to cholera outbreaks that killed tens of thousands, turning neighborhoods into death traps. The stench got so overwhelming that in 1858, London experienced the infamous Great Stink, where the river smelled so awful Parliament couldn't meet without soaking curtains in chemicals to block the odor. And yet somehow the city kept pretending it was the heart of civilization. Underneath the dresses, the hats, the horse-drawn carriages, and the polite language, there was a world built on suffering. Every elegant ballroom was supported by a slum. Every sparkling gas lamp burned above a street where someone went missing the night before. Victorian London wasn't just a historical period. It was a machine that chewed up the poor to keep the rich comfortable. And the scariest part is this: the city never fully admitted what it was. It tried to hide the slums, hide the deaths, hide the misery, hide the danger. But if you peel back the polished surface and look at what people actually lived through, you'll see a London far more violent, filthy, corrupt, and haunting than any museum or textbook ever shows. This is the real Victorian London, its dark, untold story, finally dragged out of the fog.